What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and up next, I've got another huge unboxing here. Some really cool books, another new keeper book. Let's check these out. All right, so before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So, taking a little break from all the CGC controversy videos around the 9.9, Giant Size X-Men 1, that kind of stuff, and just thought I would do a fun unboxing of some cool books. And, you know, this is the fun part of not buying 9.8s and 9.9s, is that you don't really have to worry about this kind of thing. I mean, yeah, it's like, I don't like what I'm seeing going on there, but I also, like, for me, personally, as the stuff I buy, it doesn't really have a lot of an impact on me, and so I think it's important to talk about, but I mean, just take that how it is. Like, that's the risk, I guess, right now of buying 9.8s and 9.9s, that kind of thing. I generally probably steer clear of them. If they're my little bit of like advice outside of, you know, just talking about this unboxing here, if a book has more than 100 9.8s, probably stay away for it until we got some clarity on this, on what's going on. That's just my take. I don't really trust the stuff that has more than 100 9.8s at this point, because I think there's a pretty good chance that you're going to start having some 9.9s start coming in, and if 9.9s already exist, it's probably going to hurt you even more. But all right, there's a bunch of packing peanuts in here. Got to oh geez. All right, they're getting everywhere. Try to get these out without making too big of a mess. All right, so we've got this bubble wrap package of books here. Move this out of the way. Hopefully you don't spill those anymore. Take care of the ones I spilled later. All right, I'm gonna cut for just a second while I get these books out of here, and then we will check out these cool books.
2,000 years later.
All right, so I got those 4 books out. I picked up these 4 books from Jordy over at Marveled Comics on Instagram. Definitely recommend going and checking him out. He always has new stuff coming in. He has a mix of modern, bronze, copper, silver, gold, all kinds of stuff. And so, you know, go check him out. Does some awesome claim sales. All right, so now the first one here. I actually just showed a different copy of this book in a little bit higher grade that I had picked up recently, and this is Mr. Mystery number 13. This is a 3.5, and it has the rare cream only pages. I almost never see that. It's just cream pages. I almost never see that. But we got Mr. Mystery number 13. This is a Bernard Bailey cover, and just one of the crazy Bernard Bailey covers. I mentioned it in that prior video. He is really good at drawing faces, facial expressions, eyes. They're always really expressive on the covers, and they're always super creepy, weird covers. And so Mr. Mystery 13, awesome book, a 3.5, really nice looking book. It has this crease here on the corner there, but colors are fantastic on this copy. There's the back cover. But yeah, Mr. Mystery number 13, it's a cool pre-code horror book. But yeah, I have owned this one. I do actually own another copy right now. I have a 5.0 of this book. Now this one I have never owned a copy of before. Also a Bernard Bailey cover. This cover's pretty creepy. This is a creepy cover. This is Mr. Mystery number 11. There are actually a few covers. There's a Marvel Tales cover as well, where there's a guy buried in the sand. But this one is way more detailed. This is the better version of those covers. I'm guessing this one came first, but I don't know for sure. But we've got Mr. Mystery number 11 in a 3.0. This one is creamed off white pages and just crazy, buried in the sand with ants. And then you've got this guy already, you know, too late for him, already a skull. But yeah, these Bernard Bailey covers are just wild. Like, just the imagination of some of these guys. They're just super creepy. Yeah, 1953. Cool cover. Again, like I said, really good at drawing expressive faces, eyes, that kind of stuff. So yeah, awesome book. All right, now this next one, this is a cool one to pick up. I had actually sold my copy recently. This is a much nicer copy, a much nicer grade of this book. Very tough book to get in these types of grades. This is a Matt Baker, one of his classic covers. This is Seven Seas number 6. So one of my keeper books is a Seven Seas number 4 that I have. I actually haven't decided if I want this one to be a keeper yet or not. This isn't actually the book that I said was a keeper. That one is coming up next. But this is a 5.0, which is a tough grade for this book. Really nice colors and everything on this copy. Definitely something, where I'll take a look at it. It looks like it's been pressed and cleaned and all that kind of thing. I don't know if maybe there's a detached staple or something, but it is a very solid copy at a 5.0. Matt Baker, he's known for the good girl art type covers. That's the type of thing. And the Seven Seas run has a character called the South Sea Girl, and she's on, I don't know if she's on she's on the covers of 4, 5, and 6. I think she's also on the cover of 3. But 4, 5, and 6 are all the Baker covers. And 4 is one of Matt Baker's most desirable covers of all time. 5 I don't like quite as much, but 6 I also really like. I think it's a great cover. But just cool action shot with the water flowing and everything. But yeah, 5.0, really nice grade for that book. All right, now the last book that I picked up from Jordy, I had a lower grade copy, still a very nice copy that I let go of recently that was on my keeper list. And this one is now going back on. This is my second favorite LB Cole cover. I love this cover. This is Blue Bolt number 105 in a 6.5, which is a super tough grade for this book. This book is really hard to get anyway, and then as you get up into any type of reasonable grade, it gets really tough, like a 6.5, and this is an incredible presenting copy. I think there's a little piece out of the back or something, if that was why. I don't remember what knocked it down to the 6.5, but colors really pop on this copy. This to me is Mass number 1 is my favorite cover that he did. This is my favorite sci-fi cover that he did, and like I said, my second favorite cover that he did. This one is just fantastic. You've got everything going for it. You've got just the hero on the cover. You got this crazy, fantastical creature. You've got the kind of alien good girl art type thing going on there. You've got all the little planets and everything in the background. I just love this cover. I think that this one is just incredible. And yep, very happy to be able to pick up a 6.5 of this book. And yeah, there's the back cover. Just an amazing book. So yeah, this is my definite new keeper. I'm a little torn on this one just because a 5.0 is such a tough grade with this book. I don't know if I'm gonna put it on the keeper list or not. I'll just have to think about it. But Blue Bolt 105, 6.5, definitely on the keeper list. Now, I have a second box here. This one right here. And this box has 2 more books in it. I'll kind of move these out of the way just a little bit. So this box has 2 more books in it. One of them is one of my favorite covers of all time. I absolutely love the cover. The other one is just a great cover, and I have never owned it before. And it's always cool to get some of these covers in person, because a lot of the times with these books, I've mentioned that before, I see pictures of them, all that kind of thing, but I have never actually seen a lot of these books in person before until I buy them, which is always so weird. But it's interesting because it has had an impact on if books end up on my, if I end up being a keeper book for me or not. And when I say keeper book, I mean a PC book, because sometimes I think I'm going to really like a book when I see pictures of it, or I've seen, whether it's pictures in that the Gerber photo journals and that kind of thing. And I think, oh yeah, I'm really going to like that book. And then I get it in person, and it just doesn't speak to me. I don't like it that much. One example that I've given with that was, for one that I ended up adding to my keeper list. I've let it go now since then, but was a Superman number 9. So that book, I had picked it up and I had no intention of it being a keeper book, and then I got it in person. I'm just like, this is such a cool cover. And it was a 6.0 or a 6.5. It was a nice grade. It just looked so incredible, real bright, and I ended up putting it on my keeper list for a while until somebody reached out and they ended up wanting to pick it up. Then another example, though, going the other way, was Batman number 11, that Joker cover. That was one that every time I saw a picture online, I was just like, oh, I really like that cover. Such a cool Joker cover. And then I saw one in person, and it felt flat to me. Like, it was one that didn't really appeal to me all that much. And so I don't think it would be a keeper book for me. Now, maybe if I got some really high grade or something, that might be different. But I saw a pretty nice grade in person, and it was just not for me. It wasn't a book for me. All right, first one here. This is the one I have never owned before. I picked these up off Instagram as well. This is Vault of Horror number 30. This is a Johnny Craig cover. You can see his little signature bubble down there in the corner. Just a crazy cover. Colors are really nice on this copy, like really deep blues up in the top here around the title. But just a wild cover, you know, the ripped off arm hanging from the little handle in the train, or I'm assuming it's a train or bus, something like that. But yeah, 6.0, very nice grade for this book. Vault 4, number 30, one that I have never owned before, so that was pretty cool. Now this other one, I've owned multiple copies of this book. And it had been on my keeper list for a while. Then I had kept upgrading it, and then I ended up letting them go, and this one came up, and I decided to pick this one up. Not planning on putting this one on the keeper list, but just such a cool cover. This, like I said, is one of my favorite covers from the Golden Age. It is my favorite Johnny Craig cover, and he's done some cool covers. And it's not like Crime Suspense Stories 22 or 20 or 17 or anything like that. This is Vault of Horror number 35 in a 6.5, which is again a tough grade for this book. I think the copies I've had have been like 2.5, maybe a 3.5, and I think like a 4 or a 4.5. 6.5 is a big jump up. The colors are fantastic on it. Really, really bright copy. I mean, just a little wear around the edges, you know, the crease in the corner there. Little wear on the spine, but overall just an incredible copy. It's the back cover of this book. Really nice looking book. And I think this one, yeah, it has this like a little like store writing in there. I always like those little kind of details. And if you're not familiar with this one, this is Johnny Craig. You know, it's the Christmas cover, and he has gifted his wife a coffin for Christmas. And I just think this one has that right bit of pre-code horror, like the horror vibe, and then the humor to it, where, you know, it's like the coffin that he took the time to wrap with a bow, and then he writes this like really kind of like nice cursive note, Merry Christmas to my wife. And it's just got that little bit of humor. Sometimes the EC books are just pure violence. I mean, like the Crime Suspense Stories 22, 20, 17, like those are just pure violence covers. This one, it's violent. You know, you have the guy with the axe in the back, he's going to kill his wife. It is a violent cover, but it has that little like bit of humor that I think that makes the best EC covers. So for me, Vault 4, number 35 is my favorite Johnny Craig cover. Yeah, awesome. It's just an awesome book, and just presents really well, bright colors and everything. So those are all the books. I mean, 6 books, some pretty incredible books. Like I already showed you the two Vault of Horrors. This one, I mean, I'm very happy with this copy. Colors are great. Just like I said, my number 2 LB Cole cover. I recently picked up a Mask number 1, which is my favorite LB Cole cover. But for sci-fi, I love this one. I think this one is just fantastic. It's got everything going for it. And then of course the Matt Baker 7 Cs, the Good Girl art covers, just the stuff that he's known for, and a 5.0, which is a very tough grade for this one. 1947, pretty early for Baker too. A lot of that romance stuff, you know, is in the 50s. And then of course, just the 2 crazy Bernard Bailey covers. Giant heads on the covers. A lot of his covers, it focuses on like some type of horrible thing happening to somebody's face, and that's one of them. I mean, 12 is another one. It's a horrible thing happening to somebody's face. But if you enjoyed this video, you like seeing books like this, just some unique books that you maybe aren't going to see every day, hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, all that kind of stuff. I got more videos over here. If you'd like to watch some of my other videos, subscription button is right here. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.